Sun's almost out here in Georgia. Crazy, huh? What's going on? We usually don't talk about the weather on this show, but I'm going to get to that in a second because there's some crazy shit going on. We're trying something new. Guess who's back, ladies and gentlemen, producing from a remote area in an undescript brick building somewhere in the Carolinas. It's the great Raz. Raz, pop yourself up there, please. Raz doesn't want to be seen because this show is so far right, and he'll catch shit from the black community. You understand? He will be called all kinds of names, which I will laugh at. So remember, we're all domestic terrorists here.
There we go.
And there he is. Look at him. Doesn't he look like the keyboard player for, I don't know, the OJs or some shit? You're listening to Black Sounds 97.7. We're going to kick it off with a little Marvin Gaye. Anyways, good to have you back, Raz. And Jason's right here at studio doing his thing. Let's get right to the weather. Deadly winter weather strikes Texas. That's right. I said Texas. At least 11 people have died as an unprecedented winter storm continued to pummel much of the United States, while more than 4 million people have been left without power in Texas amid sub-freezing temperatures. I'm talking -8 with a wind in some places and 0 in Dallas. You got to be dog-styling me.
What the hell's going on out here?
You tell me, Jesus. In San Antonio, they don't know how to handle, Texas isn't. I grew up in Boston, went to school in Maine. This is pussy shit. But these people go out for the mail and they never come back. In San Antonio, a 78-year-old man froze to death after falling on his front lawn. I don't mean to laugh, but he got stuck on the front lawn in the frigid weather for 2 hours. You sure it wasn't COVID related? Yeah. Also killed were a woman and a girl in Houston who suffered carbon monoxide poison when they sat in an attached garage while a car was running because there was no heat in their home. It's funny, I was watching Tucker. He predicted that like yesterday or last night, saying this shit, and that it happens every time. A man and a boy from the same family were hospitalized in the incident. So don't carbon. You save that for later in your later years when you're depressed and you hate your wife. Then you go into the garage, you turn on the Buick and have a hose running from the tailpipe into the back window, and you go to sleep. Many were left without heat as the mercury plunged to single digits in the Lone Star State's electric grid suffered a catastrophic failure Monday due to the snow, ice, and frigid temperatures. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, otherwise known as ERCOT, I worked there for 2 years. I was tapping off the grid. They caught me. It was also forced to cut power, in response to winter record of 69,150 megawatts on Sunday evening, more than 3,200 MW, that's megawatts, higher than the previous winter peak in January of 2018. About 10,500 megawatts of customer load, he said load, was shed at the highest point, enough power to serve approximately 2 million homes. In addition, the storms knocked out nearly half the state's wind power generation capacity on Sunday. Wind generations rank, listen to this. Here's your Green New Deal. Wind generation ranks as the second largest source of electricity in Texas, accounting for almost a quarter of the state's power supplies, ERCOT estimates. How fucking stupid.
It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, forget natural gas and oil. That's what you want when it's 11 below, a giant fan. President Joe Biden, not my president, not yours, lying cocksucker and fake commander-in-chief, has declared an emergency, unlocking federal assistance to Texas, where temperatures range from 28, I'm going to repeat this, to -8. 28 to -, in Texas. Weather-related emergencies also have been declared in Alabama, Oklahoma. It's too cold to molest one of your sisters. Kansas, Mississippi, Oregon, where more than 300,000 people were without power, according to the power company out there. Yeah, a bunch of jerk-offs.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
I hope AOC reads that and all the other Green New Deal assholes. Okay? They rely on wind power in Texas, almost a quarter of their power. And look what happened. Of course, they'll say, and I can hear them already going, yeah, but the temperatures, those nutty temperatures never seen in Texas, well, because of, global warming. Excuse me? Guy froze to death in his driveway and it was global warming? Shut your horse teeth. Throw her a carrot. What? Anyways, we miss our President Donald Trump. Jerk-off's been in office about, 2 weeks? People are dying in snowstorms, and let's blame him for everything. I don't see the media ripping him a new asshole, treating him as bad as they treated Trump. I'm trying to lead the charge here. Speaking of Donald Trump, the greatest president in the history of this country, Steve Bannon says Trump isn't going anywhere. He may take his revenge on Joe Jerkoff Biden. I'm paraphrasing. Steve Bannon told a group of Boston Republicans, all 2 of them, that President Trump's political career is far from over. Bannon predicted that Trump will come roaring back in 2024 at the age of 89. Floating the idea that Trump may be elected to Congress in 2022 and then launch an impeachment proceeding against Biden. He told that to the Boston Herald. Oh, please let that happen.
Oh,
please.
boy, is this great!
How fucking great would that? Who's not going to vote for him? And there's a big split in the Republican Party. People want to separate themselves from Trump forever. Hey, Republican Party, he saved your piece of shit party. It's now his party. Nobody believes in that neoconservative garbage G.W. Bush was pushing and everybody else. Welcome to the Patriot Party, is what I say. Can you imagine if he runs for Congress? We get to see him debate and shit and pick on women and cripple people and shit. He'll do his greatest hits. Let me tell you something. You broads don't know what the fuck you're doing. Sorry we gave you the right to vote. Oh, Pelosi has some type of labia cancer. Going forward, we can transform the Republican Party into more of a MAGA movement. That sounds gross. Just immerse the Make America Great movement with the Republican. Fuck that. Get rid of the Republican Party. Get the people that were in the Patriot Party and merge them. And we're going to have massive victories in the future, Bannon said in a Lincoln Day breakfast speech. Bannon said Trump could become Speaker of the House in 2022 and impeach Biden. Are you kidding? That's better than porn. Imagine Trump with a gavel in his hand. He'll be whacking people. Come to order. Bing, sit down. You didn't vote for me, you fucking rhino cocksucker. Bing. We totally get rid of, this is Bannon talking now. We totally get rid of Nancy Pelosi. That should have been done 25 years ago when she still had tits. Got to get rid of her.
Bye-bye.
And then the first act of President Trump as Speaker will be to impeach Joe Biden, Bannon said, leading to a bunch of applause. Ian Hollers from the Boston Republicans. I didn't even know there were any Republicans in Boston. My home state is turned into the San Francisco of the East. It makes me sick. And why is this shirt riding up my back like I have traps like the Hulk? You know why? Gay guys design these things. Fucking 32-inch chest. The legs are so skinny. It's like they're walking on their hands. I have to buy a 36 waist to get jeans over my friggin' thighs. I digress. What else is going on? That's about it. Take it easy, folks. You guys have been terrific. Try the veal. I'll be at the Comedy Works in Buffalo. So Joe Biden, apparently people are happy that he's the president. And of course, The View celebrated President's Day. He's an illegal president. Anyways, they celebrated Biden on Presidential Day yesterday. More proof the left is living in an alternate planet. Everything they say in this clip has no semblance to reality. Our old buddy Rich Wood sent me this clip, and he sent it with a trigger warning, and he was right. I actually coughed up a little blood in my mouth while watching this. I was so angry. Do you believe The View still exists? Just Whoopi's ugliness alone, you'd think they would have been canceled. Joy Behar, that fucking cow, who I'm supposed to be friends with. Sorry, Joy. Jesus Christ, I got a fat face today. No neck. That's it. Throwing out the mixer. Let's take a look at the 5 of the ugliest women blowing Joe Biden.
You know, you lose an election, you win an election, and the other person's your enemy. I mean, this is about, people have choices, and the job is you represent everyone. You represent people who voted against as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pause. You represent everyone? Really? Your first thing to do is label us domestic terrorists, everybody that voted for Trump? I didn't realize he was such a empty suit. How fucking dare you? You represent everybody. The domestic terrorists, all those 10 Antifa people that broke into the Capitol, which is really the truth, by the way. Ugh. Go ahead.
Well, there we are.
He's adorable. He's so genuine and sweet and lovely and funny.
Sense of humor.
Everything you want in a man and in
fuck
a
her.
president.
Yeah. Yes, Joy. That's what she looks like when she's coming. Don't ask me how I know that. Look at that face. That's what you want in a president. Somebody who's in the 3rd stage of Alzheimer's and who never was right about any big issues ever in his 47-year career in D.C. Not one. You can look it up. Also a plagiarizer and a guy who's blowing China. That's what you want in a president, huh, Joy? How dare you? You're lucky I don't come over there. I don't know where there is. Anyways, I've just had it. The Republicans, they wrote a letter to Speaker, what's her name? Pelosi?
She's a malignant cunt.
Demanding answers as to why she denied a request to activate the National Guard, get this, ahead of January 6th, and why it took her over an hour while the attack was ongoing to approve a request to authorize the National Guard. Good questions. Anybody gonna answer them ever?
You fucking whore. Fuck you. Yeah, that's it. Go home. Get my dinner ready.
That was Matt Gaetz from Florida talking to Pelosi. She's mentally ill, though. Can we all agree on that? I remember me and Dennis Miller agreeing on that point when I did his radio show like 12 years ago in New York, saying she is seriously mentally ill. And she's 80 now, and she's more obstinate and bitter and just so partisan, always has been. How the fuck has she lasted that long? And why don't some of you so-called Republican guys get in her face and threaten her? I mean, they're playing dirty. Let's pick up our game here. The Republicans sent a letter to Nancy Pelosi questioning some of her actions on or before January 6th, the date that she says was the most horrible day in American history. She's so full of shit. Here's the letter. I will read it to you as quick as I can. But listen to this. It has been, it's to the Honorable Nancy Pelosi. So we know this is hilarious. It has been widely reported and confirmed by multiple sources that when Chief Son requested the National Guard be activated ahead of January 6th joint session of Congress, the response from the SAA acting on your behalf was the optics of having National Guard on site were not good and the intelligence didn't support the move. The request was not approved. Furthermore, on January 6th, in the middle of the ongoing attack of the Capitol, Chief Sund again notified the SAA of his request for approval to authorize the National Guard. It took over an hour for his request to be approved because the SSA had to run the request up the chain of command, which undoubtedly you and your designees. On January 7th, you held a press conference in which you stated, you lying pig, in part, that you were calling on Chief Son to resign because he, in quotes, hasn't called us since this happened. That claim is refuted by Chief Son, who in a letter to you, dated February 1st, 2021, detailed 2 occasions that he briefed you on the situation on the Capitol campus. The first occurring at 5:36 p.m. and the second at 6:25 p.m., both on January 6th. While there is widespread support to conduct an independent security review, I can't see the last word, it's blocked, of the campus.
Yes, campus.
Campus what?
General Russell Honore.
While there is widespread support to conduct an independent security review of the campus, General Russell Honore was appointed solely by you without consultation of the minority. To the general's credit, he's reached out to several Republicans to brief on his work to date. We are hopeful his review will result in beneficial recommendations that are not influenced by political motivations. However, it is easy to understand why we and our Senate counterparts remain skeptical that any of his final recommendations will be independent and without influence from you. In addition, we are very concerned by the obstruction and inability to procure and preserve information from your House officers when requested. Listen how what an bipartisan asshole. Such information is necessary to properly conduct oversight on the January 6th events. Preservation and production requests were sent to the SAA and the House Chief Administrative Officer, among other legislative agencies, requesting that such relevant information concerning the attack on the Capitol, including correspondence, video footage, audio recordings, and other records, be preserved and produced to the relevant committees. In multiple cases, your appointees acting on your behalf have denied requests to produce this information. The response we received was, we regret to inform you that given the scope of the information requested and the concerns implicated by the nature of the request, we are unable to comply with the request at this time. Anyways, that's enough of the letter. Do you see how she wants it both ways? They're just asking. She's the one, first of all, she lied. They offered her security before the attack. She turned down. Now she's out there on national TV every day saying it was domestic terrorists and the campus guy, Son, didn't do his job. Just a liar. Anything to advance her dog shit left-wing political ideology. And I'm glad they wrote the letter. Let's see if it comes of anything. I'm so paranoid right now, folks, about the Republicans. I don't know who to believe, who's a rhino. I like I said, I get excited. I used to think Kinzinger was an actual right-winger and all these other idiots that voted to convict Trump. At one point, they actually seemed like they believed in the cause. But so I don't know what to believe. We all know Pelosi has to go. And the best way to do that is get Trump into Congress. Whack her out. Anyways, I hate her guts, and may she choke on some of that Ben and Jerry's. All right. Speaking of, again, left-wing lunacy, get this. All right. House Democrats hire ex-gangsta killer. Sure they do. The House Democrats campaign arm has hired an ex-gangster turned high-profile criminal justice advocate for a top leadership position. Okay, so give me a fucking.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert.
The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, headed by Hudson Valley area rep Sean Patrick Maloney, tapped Dejan Tatro as a senior advisor for diversity and inclusion. A former gang member who shot people. He's the one in charge of diversity. What's he going to do? So we got to start shooting more white people instead of each other? I know he made something himself, but I don't give a shit. You shot people. That should you cannot be qualified to work in the government. That's a rule I just made. Jason, make sure Congress gets that. Tatro is known for appearing in the 2019 PBS documentary series, College Behind Bars. Where did you go? The University of Brushy Hill Penitentiary. Anyways, it's about a group of inmates trying to earn their degrees through New York State's Barred Prison Initiative. How about the victims of this jerk off? Anybody care about them? Through the program, Tatro got a bachelor's degree while serving a 6-year sentence for racketeering conspiracy. So he's a perfect fit for the Democrats. I'm sure this would have happened if he was a white guy.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
No offense, Raz. Anyways, at the time of the 2011 conviction, Tatro had already been doing time for shooting 2 rival gang members. Oh, I see why they hired him. The next time the Republicans practice a softball game or baseball game, he'll be the shooter. Described at the time as a trigger man. I said trigger. For the original gangster killers street gang that terrorized Albany. Probably had a run-in with my fucking manager, Tommy. He's from that neck of the woods. Tatro confessed to the shootings and to razor slashing of another victim in 2002, as well as to dealing drugs. So again, he's a perfect fit for the Democrats. They are so twisted. He admitted to making at least $12,000 a month dealing drugs. That's it? He wasn't even good at that. I make that on Cameo. I don't. Don't take that. I make about $11 a week on Cameo. Take it easy. 12 grand a month? The fuck were you selling? Skunk weed? Oh, that's right. It's Albany. You only need $4 grand to live for the year up there. It's like Nigeria or some shit. He admitted to making at least 12 grand a month dealing drugs and conspired to traffic more than 50 grams of crack cocaine. 50 grams? Sam Kinison would do that in a day. Tatro was freed in 2017 and has since become an advocate for increasing educational opportunities for inmates through a BPI. While in the program himself, Tatro is part of get this one. We have to look this up. A 3-inmate debate team. From the Eastern New York Correctional Facility in the Catskills. Get this part. That famously defeated the Harvard undergraduates debate. Yo, I like to fucking rebuke that shit you just threw up there, nigga. What? Somebody help me out. Although, you know what? Let me rethink that. Why do we think the people at Harvard are so smart? They're as retarded as anybody. I might give that one to the 3 rapists who beat them in a debate. Can you imagine hiring this guy? I wouldn't let him work at fucking Marshall's. They love him. The Dems love him. They asked Chuck Schumer about him. He said this.
He was the best guy around.
New York State Republican Party Chairman Nick Langworthy said, and I love this guy, second chance is a one thing, but I would have to question Congressman Maloney's judgment to put someone with such a violent past at the top of their organization. That's something you'd hear when mafia families are talking to each other. But Maloney and DCC defending hiring Tatro, whom they consider a turnaround success story and a nationally recognized criminal justice reform advocate. Apparently, I'm not watching enough PBR. PBR? That's a beer, isn't it? PBS. Excuse me. Now who's the ignorant one? Yo, shut your mouth, yo. You don't even know how to say it. Dijon is formerly incarcerated person who has worked hard to change the trajectory of his life and his bullets through education and service to his community. A Democratic committee spokesman said, yeah, you know what? Nobody cares what the fuck you have to say.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Not me. Let me have a sip of my Irish coffee. 4 parts Canadian Club, 1 part Sanka. Remember Sanka? My mother, I'll have a cup of Sanka. Really? What are you going to have after that? A can of Tab? Get into the new century, lady. What do we got here? Let's go to New York and another Democrat who would know the truth if it bit him on his vag. Governor Andrew Cuomo's executive order, this is the headline, killed 15,000 seniors. Okay? Guys killed more old people than a slippery sidewalk. I fell down. There's a bone coming through my ass and I can't get up. Call Cuomo. Ugh. So he's under heat because one of his aides came out, a woman named, we talked about yesterday, Melissa DeRosa, and said, yes, we hid the data as far as deaths in nursing homes and shit. And this guy was on TV. I should have pulled the clip, but I'm not working for NBC. I don't get that kind of dough. But he's actually blaming everybody else. Fucking Trump people, the people themselves people who came into the nursing home to visit old people. They're the ones who spread it there. Everybody but himself, Mr. Emmy winner. There he is holding an imagined dick in his hand. I guess we got a video. I don't know what of, but let's roll it.
My mother's name is Maria Sachs. Her name is Maria Sachs.
This lady's daughter obviously died in a nursing home, and she wants to hold Governor Cuomo accountable. She doesn't realize that doesn't happen in New York, but okay, let her roll.
And I told her, I promised her, as her daughter, I told her, unfortunately we had to say goodbye to her via Zoom, which was terribly tragic. That is ingrained in my memory. Like I can't wrap my fingers around it. Every day is like a dream. It's still hard to comprehend what had happened. And, I promised her I would not stop fighting.
I mean, I respect this lady and everything, what she's doing for her mom who passed, but her mom's 60 there. Jesus Christ, was she living with Keith Richards? Holy shit. She looks like she's in her late hundreds. She's 60 there. What, in dog years? My God, what did she do for a living? Mix meth? All right, roll it. God bless her soul.
So the truth is told.
That was it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Boy, did I pick a bad spot to intervene. New York Governor Cuomo signed an executive order, if you guys don't remember, forcing nursing homes to accept patients who tested positive for COVID-19. You have blood thinner on your hands, sir. It is now known that the March 2020 decision led to the death of almost 15,000. I'll say that again. 15,000 seniors.
You pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
So that lady's mother was a longtime resident at the Grand Rehabilitation and Nursing at South Point Island, New York, and she suffered from dementia. And dementia? Nick, Jesus Christ. Putting fucking R's with it. This lady had more brains than you at this point. I trusted them to take care of her where we couldn't, and they failed miserably, her daughter Teresa Seri said in an interview with Fox News. And now she dead. On March 31st, just 6 days after the order was signed, Sari received an email from the Grand Rehab Center, get this, informing families about the first confirmed case of coronavirus inside her mother's facility. The message said in bold, "This is not a reason to panic."
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Absolutely.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Mr. Cuomo. The following morning, a nurse called Sari with the word that her mother had come down with a fever, was coughing, refused to eat. As Maria's condition rapidly deteriorated, Sari spent the next few days on the phone, desperate to have her mother removed from the shared room she was in and brought to a hospital. So that should happen like that, right?
Hmm.
After 3 long days, Maria was finally transferred. Excuse me. God damn it. To a hospital in respiratory distress where she ultimately passed away with Cuomo's foot on her throat, laughing. After Cuomo's nursing home controversy came under renewed focus last week when his top aide admitted to covering up the true number of COVID-19 related deaths at the nursing home. Yeah, they were just denying it, for Christ's sake, you know?
What murder?
Sarah said she's a bit relieved this is finally coming to a head. This is what we've been fighting for the past year, she said. We want the truth to be told, and we want to help other families avoid dealing with this traumatizing experience. Since Maria's passing, Sari joined Voices for Seniors, a group focused on raising awareness about the shortcomings of nursing homes and advocating for protective legislation and reform for old people that we don't give a fuck about in this country. It's really sad. These were vulnerable people that were just thrown to the side, Sari said. She accused people in political power of treating their lost loved ones as political toys that they couldn't care less about. Good for her. She's doing something about it. Unfriggin'. I have a little experience because my dad was in a nursing home. My mother's in they call it assisted living or whatever, but it's the most beautiful apartment I've ever seen. She looks like she's a point guard for an NBA. Got a fish tank for a headboard, surround sound, big bowl of Coke next to her bed. We had it all. And then one day it all ended. Now I'm just a nobody. I live in Danvers, Mass. Yesterday at the nursing home, I ordered spaghetti with meatballs, and I got Chef Boyardee. Goodfellas, burnt into my skull. I'll tell you, it's a dog eat dog out there, or in this case, a crocodile eat man story. This is my idea of a light story. This is how I loosen things up on the show. I think you'll find it funny. Australian. Oh, this is another COVID thing. I'm sorry. We have a couple Australian things. This is my favorite guy on the internet right now. I think he was doing, what was a cooking demonstration?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. You'll see. But there's a bunch of, left-wing journalists upset because he's not wearing a mask. And this is why I love Australia. They sort of lead the world right now in killing political correctness. They just lash out. So this Australian, sick of dumb questions from a retarded lefty journalist, his response couldn't be more appropriate. It's Kiara Savage 00 tweeted, "This dude says no thanks to Victoria's lockdown." The journalist asked him, "Do you realize there's a lockdown?" And watch his response.
Did you realize there's a lockdown?
Can't wait for some of these snags. These are going to be good at.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Can we see that again, please?
Did you realize there's a lockdown?
Can't wait for some of these snags. These are going to be good at.
He's got his fucking microphone right over the sausage and peppers. How dare you? What if that mic had COVID on it? God bless the Australians. Huh? Do you know there's a lockdown? Can you imagine that's what Trump should have done to Acosta? Slapped his glasses off. Fucking would have won. Well, he did win in a landslide. There should be a button that says, I don't want to talk to you. Did we miss that one? We did. Anyways. So thank you, situation. I want to thank people who have donated to the show since yesterday at nickdip.com or thecomicsgym.com. James Burns from California. David Hertz, California. Dave, get out of there. Franz Grissom, only German living in Oklahoma. James Lafferty, Pennsylvania. And New